The simple joys of life, the little things that give life meaning and purpose. For most of us, these joys are fleeting enough. For the Alzheimer's patient, these simple pleasures are stolen, and life becomes a silent struggle to get them back.
This particular tree is good because it cuts just like butter.
Colin, what do you think about this trap right here in front of the green?
Louise and Joseph, an active, healthy couple heading into their 70s with hobbies and purpose that keep their lives full long after the kids are grown and careers retired. For Louise, it's cultivating her trees.
Just put this little cage on it so the rabbits can't get at it while it's small.
And cultivating friendships.
Well, it's all these people, partly, that keep you, you know, active and thinking about other things rather than what you're doing yourself.
Small map, large world. Think, boys.
Joseph is a retired professor who says retirement shouldn't mean giving up on life.
So retirement is really the birth of new life to me. So I retired early.
A longtime golfer, it stands to reason his new career would be teaching golf course design.
They did a bang-up job here, and I'm going to ask the class to critique this thing, but as you can see...
And designing golf courses himself. In his spare time, Joseph paints, a lust for life preserved on canvas.
You got to do what Socrates said. You have to have a sound mind and a sound body. If you let either one of them wither away through disuse, it's going to affect the other one. So the key is to use everything you got. Here's a couple of people with positive attitudes.
This is how our golden years should be, filled with purpose and accomplishment. John and Lillian lead quite a different retired life.
She never talks to me about it. She never initiates a conversation.
We introduced you to John and Lillian in our first video training module. Lillian suffers from Alzheimer's disease.
She never asks about food. She never requests to go to bed, never requests to get to the bathroom, never tries to get up now during the night or in the morning. She went through a period where she was up, gotten dressed, you know, in the middle of the night. That's all past.
John's life revolves around Lillian and her illness. We'll talk about support for families in a future video module. People like John are not alone. However, for now, we will focus on Lillian. She is helpless to care for herself, but she and others like her are still capable of participating in activities and ought to.
It's amazing how much improvement we have found in patients once they are stimulated. We've had patients who haven't talked in a year start talking again.
Dr. George Glenner was the first researcher to unveil the true face of Alzheimer's disease. It all begins with a protein manufactured by the body, the beta amyloid protein precursor, discovered by Dr. Glenner in 1984. This protein makes a devastating journey through the brain. First, the protein forms into silk fibers inside the walls of the brain's blood vessels. The vessel walls become so engorged with these silk fibers, they leak, allowing the beta amyloid protein precursor to invade the brain's gray matter, forming plaques. The protein then attaches itself to nerve cells, causing them to form tangles. These plaques and tangles progressively destroy the brain. It actually shrinks or atrophies, destroying gray matter where cognitive functions originate. Diagnostic tests rule out vitamin B12 deficiency, strokes, brain tumors, bad reactions to medication. By ruling out these and other disorders, a diagnosis of Alzheimer's disease may not be foolproof, but it is pretty reliable. Dr. Glenner wishes he could offer a cure, but he and other researchers haven't found one yet. However, he does know that stimulating activities can slow the progress of Alzheimer's disease and ease its symptoms.
We find that what was initially a state of depression, which almost all these patients have, and if you think about it, you'd be pretty depressed too if you couldn't remember what you were doing or what happened 10 or 15 minutes ago. We find that these patients' depression is relieved to a great extent, and they're functioning at a much higher level.
Without stimulation, I think the body shuts down quicker.
Rebecca Adams is program coordinator at the George Glenner Alzheimer's Family Center. She designs managed activities.
Managed activities would be activities that would be geared towards each individual person so that we can bring out the highest level of functioning for that person.
These customized activities are designed with a patient's social history in mind, on their likes and dislikes as described by family members, built around their abilities and their disabilities.
Even simple ones like taking magazines and going back through, like reminiscing, pulling out that information so that they are, one, reminiscing, they're being drawn into that conversation, as well as being successful at it. I mean, somebody's paying attention to me. Hey, it brings up their self-esteem, their self-worth.
All right. You all ready?
Music is probably the #1 communicator here.
Holy, 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 Lord God Almighty.
Music, I think, reaches all levels of functioning. Music is something we generally all have grown up with in each generation. We each have our period of music that we like.
Holy, holy, holy.
When those tunes come on, either the radio or we put that record on the player, that you, again, will see a body adjustment. You will possibly see them sitting up straighter in a chair. They may make a comment. Again, you see reactions of smiling. You'll see reactions of singing.
Good. Sounds good.
Singing songs that may bring back memories. In Alzheimer's disease, short-term memory goes first, then long-term memory. A purpose of these activities is to keep that long-term memory intact as long as possible, to nurture it and challenge patients to remember as long as they can. Activities should also be designed to work the patient's motor skills, their fine motor skills and their large motor skills. These activities can help reduce a patient's disabilities and help them stay physically healthy longer than they would otherwise. Activities like walking.
One, you're getting out in the fresh air. You're getting out of an enclosed environment. It's something that is easy for them, all levels, to do. So we gear the activity to each of the different levels. You can see so many things. You have sights, you have sounds, you have smells.
These walks also burn energy, helping Alzheimer's patients sleep better at night, and that can be a relief for family caregivers. Here's another simple group activity, drawing patients together and getting their blood circulating.
Go ahead. Oh, wild one.
Through a simple activity, these men and women enjoy being part of a team.
We're all very social people, and we like to be recognized. We like somebody to pay attention to us. We like somebody to compliment us.
Eleanor's got long arms.
Here comes. Many years ago. He's a good player.
But sometimes your Alzheimer's patient doesn't take an interest. In Lillian's case, she needs a slower, quiet activity, one that is non-threatening.
Then we'll do what's called parallel programming. We will, again, going back through their histories on what their likes and dislikes and pulling out activities that are geared more to what they're interested in. There are also occasions where they just need to relax, that maybe they're overstressed, they didn't sleep at night, whatever the reasoning, we need to be able to accept that as well. But we will do parallel programming where we can integrate them into some type of activity that keeps them stimulated.
Lillian is still agitated, not at all interested in coloring. So her attendant tries another activity, gently, patiently introducing a book.
Good job. Thank you. Butterflies. Pretty butterflies.
For this moment, at least, Lillian has found an interest, paging through a book. Its pictures may even evoke memories, pieces of her past. The key to getting Alzheimer's patients involved in these activities lies in how the staff presents them.
The enthusiasm that is generated by the activity, how we explain the activity to them.
Jennifer will help you with your numbers if you can't hear them.
You ready?
And remember simple, direct communication, gently guiding the patient into the activity.
The first number is 069.
Got it. Solid, Jackson.
I'll have her something in her hand so she can come over to the table that she can see, and then we'll sit her down and then reassure her that she is in amongst friends, that it's something that's non-threatening to her, that it is a positive experience, and that she'll be good at it.
Anybody else have B1?
Slide this one over. Or B14.
I-24. How we doing, Larry? Oh, boy, your card is winning.
Yeah, pick those out over there.
Look your patient directly in the eyes. If the patient is sitting, get down to their level. Speak in a friendly, soft tone of voice.
Yeah.
You don't have these.
I'll help you.
I'm helping you out, Glenn.
We constantly have to need to redirect people when they may be wanting to leave, they're a little anxious, there's overstimulation. Through our tone of voice, we can change that, a negative situation where somebody might be becoming very anxious, into a positive one where they're calmed down because of just your tone of voice and what you say, your facial expressions.
And constantly reassure.
Oh! Close, Blair.
Reassuring them as we start the project, answering any questions or noticing any signals where we might see them struggling with the project, reassuring them again or adapting it so they are able to accomplish it.
Bingo!
Reassure and reassess. Dr. Glenner.
The assessment predetermines whether we're going to have these people doing intellectually high-level work at the daycare center and be with high-functioning people, or whether we'll put them with a group of people who won't threaten them so much, who won't be too much for them.
Reassessing patients, designing and redesigning managed activities are part of the ongoing process that guides patients and staff from one day to the next. Your managed activities must change to meet the changing needs of your patients, to preserve their dignity and their abilities as long as possible. To recap, there is no stopping Alzheimer's disease, but managed activities can slow its progress. Managed activities are custom designed for patients based on their social history, their likes and their dislikes, and their abilities. Ideal managed activities include music, crafts, paging through magazines and books and discussing them, walks and games that not only stimulate the Alzheimer's patient mentally, but physically as well. When patients don't take to an activity, don't force them. Gently encourage them, or be prepared with a parallel program that is better suited to their needs. Be alert to changes in patients, reassess their condition, and mold activities to their needs and their abilities. No matter who we are or what our disabilities, we all share a similar goal: to enjoy the simple pleasures of life, to make life meaningful. In the words of Rousseau, life is not breath, but action. The use of our senses, our mind, our faculties, every part of ourselves, which makes us conscious of our living.